Morning. It's Wednesday, August 12th, and I'm reading an article that says who's speaking at the National Democratic Convention or the Democratic National Convention. And who cares? Who cares who's going to speak at that convention? It's not even a live convention yet. Joe Biden's not going to speak at the convention. He's going to speak from his home in Delaware. And Kamala Harris was just announced as the vice presidential candidate. I don't know why it took so long. So I'm sure she's going to speak at the convention, but we don't know exactly from where. So supposedly, speakers of various backgrounds are slated to speak at the convention next week. And highlighting the convention will be the theme, Uniting America. And these people are going to share stories of those who are struggling during the global coronavirus pandemic. The total list of speakers has not been released yet, but here's what we know so far. Former President and First Lady Barack and Michelle Obama. Both of them will be speaking at the convention, but we don't know when or which nights they're going to appear. And we know that Barack Obama has endorsed Joe Biden for president. Here's something that surprised me. Hillary Clinton is going to speak at this convention. She's going to speak on the same night as the vice presidential candidate is going to speak. I guess that's because both of them are women. And I think it's a big mistake. I think Hillary has left a bad taste in the mouths of most Democrats. She blew an election that has caused this country to go into 4 years of turmoil. And there was no reason for her to lose that election except campaign stupidity. So there it is. We have Hillary, who lost terribly in the last election, and Kamala, who's a relatively newcomer to the high-stakes game of presidential elections, selected by Biden in the hopes that she can help him win this election and unseat Donald Trump. And while the polls are in Biden's favor right now, I don't think he has a lock on this election yet. And Bernie Sanders is going to talk at this convention. We all remember Bernie Sanders. He was the last candidate standing. He's the only one that really debated Biden. Now, Bernie is the leader of the progressive wing of the Democratic Party, but it's my understanding that he and Biden have come to terms and have established several Biden-Sanders unity task forces. And as most of us have seen, Bernie has been very quiet since he stepped out of the campaign trail. So he's working behind the scenes and doing the right thing, presenting a unified force with Joe Biden. And Elizabeth Warren has been scheduled to speak on Wednesday night. You know, she was another primary opponent, but she suspended her campaign after Super Tuesday and finally ended up endorsing Biden. And it's my understanding that she has worked very closely with Biden on his campaign. So she gets to speak on Wednesday night. And here's something that you don't see very often. A Republican is going to speak at this convention. Former governor of Ohio, John Kasich, who in my mind has always been a stand-up guy. He's expected to speak on the same night as Sanders. His speaking on the same night with Sanders indicates to the public that there is support for Biden from opposite ends of the political spectrum. Now, we all know that Kasich ran in the 2016 presidential primary and has many times been an outspoken critic of President Trump. So it doesn't surprise me that he would accept an invitation to speak at the Democratic National Convention. But it's very rare. So this tells you something about the turbulent times that we are living in. And then we have some speakers who are not politicians. Gerald Lang, a Michigan United Auto Workers official, is going to speak. This is the campaign's way of indicating to the general public that Biden is a man for unions and workers, and it's considered a key pickup in the state of Michigan for the Democrats this year. And then he's going to have a Florida paramedic, Aldo Martinez, speak. Aldo Martinez is a young man, 26 years old, and he has been fighting on the front lines of the coronavirus pandemic. He is also covered by DACA, Deferred Action for Children Arrivals. So Biden is managing to cover a huge spectrum of things that are the antithesis of the things that Trump is for. And then there are two school teachers from Milwaukee that are going to speak. Luz Chaparro Hernandez is still working, and she teaches a bilingual program for second and third graders. Julie Buckholt is a retired educator and has a rare disease that costs $15,000 a week to treat. And they are going to speak at the conference or the convention. So that's a roundup. Maybe it's piqued your interest. Maybe you're saying, who cares? I personally think that I'll try and listen to a couple of things, but sometimes these things get way out of whack. So in any event, that's the rundown so far. But that's all I have to say right now. So I will see you in the morning. Bye.